Hey everyone, Happy New Year's. Nathan coming to you from MK Sports Talks Radio. Looking to start off the new year with a fun hot topic is the most important position in the NFL, and that's quarterback. If your team doesn't have one, you're in trouble. I'm a 49ers fan. I'll show you. They are in trouble. And that's one of the teams that we're going to be looking at this week as to really someone who's going to be looking at big paydays. So really the one we want to talk about is basically players getting big paydays coming up here soon. Everyone saw it with Brock Osweiler, and you're going to see it with a lot of quarterbacks this year. They're going to take a gamble on them. So we're going to run down the list real quick and then talk about possible places and homes for the quarterbacks as well too. So we'll make this real brief so we get through this pretty quickly. The first one is going to be the most important and probably the highest prized quarterback right now is Jimmy Garoppolo. A lot of teams are going to be looking at him and wonder if they should give New England what they're asking for him. Is basically like a first and a second or 2 second-round picks, something like that, as far as a combination to get him, or maybe some players as well too. So there's going to be a lot of teams very interested in Jimmy, the 49ers being one of them, Cleveland probably, and some other teams around the league. So Mike Glennon is a guy from Tampa Bay who played a couple games before Jameis Winston and had some promise, but definitely didn't look like a superstar. But look for him to really make an impact here and at least get offers and get a good payday as a backup, similar to what happened in Philadelphia, getting Chase Daniels for I think about $7 million a year, which is very high for a backup. But at the time, they weren't quite sure how they were going to go, and it was worked out well for them drafting Wentz. It was probably only about $4 or $5 million a year. Tyrod Taylor is due to make $30 million this year for the Bills. I don't think he'll be back. I think Rex Ryan liked him a lot, but I don't think anybody else really did in the organization. They'll probably cut him, pay him his buyout money, which is probably somewhere in the 12 to 15 range if they can arrange a buyout, because I don't think they want to sit on that $30 million guaranteed. Maybe trade him away. Possible fitment for him would have been San Francisco with Chip Kelly's offense, because he would probably would have did well there. But Chip's gone, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. So Tom Savage, the guy down in Houston, third year, he might get a couple of trade offers or possibly the starting job down there for the Texans going into next season, or at least be able to compete if they don't draft a quarterback. Showed a little bit of promise there. Definitely played better than Brock Osweiler. So teams that are really in search of a quarterback might be willing to trade for him and let him ride and see how he does. Teams like Cleveland will probably be pretty interested in him if they can get him at a bargain price. Matt Moore came in and played really well. He had that really big Thursday night game, 4 touchdowns. He's been a 5 or 6 year journeyman as a backup and played a couple games in Carolina and stuff, but don't expect a lot from him. But he might get some big money, though, this year. Kirk Cousins is already making the franchise tag, so he's already making that $20+ million a year. So I would definitely think that he's probably going to get somewhere in the 25. And if Washington was probably smart, given what they have to work with, they should probably just lock him up for a long term because he's playing pretty well. So I definitely think he'll be a good player to look at long term and get some big money. I don't think it's a smart move to franchise him again because that would just aggravate him a little bit, knowing that he's going to be paid pretty well. But he went to a long term deal like all NFL players. Guy's going to sneak up there is the Bengals' A.J. McCarron, also known as Mr. Katherine Webb. So he's going to be one that he played pretty well end of last season when he filled in for Dalton, at least well enough to probably get a big payday. But I don't know if he's necessarily an NFL starting quarterback. But you never know these days anymore who can surprise you. Guys come out like Russell Wilson and just totally surprise everybody in the league. So Jay Cutler's a guy that might be back with the Bears, but he might pop up some other places, either in trade or free agency if they cut him. So he's due to make a lot of money, and he's always been a better than average player, but never really excelled into that like the tier 1 category. That he was always promised. He's always hung around that mid-level tier 2 quarterback. So teams that are looking right now, 49ers are going to have some options, whether they go with the draft. It's probably better to start over and just go with the draft there and go with that Mitch Kibinski from North Carolina. Cleveland always needs a quarterback since forever, so they're going to need one. Chicago, depending what they do with Jay Cutler. Matt Barkley is not your answer. Look for them to draft a quarterback as well, too. The Jets, Obviously, you saw what happened with their season. Very terrible. The Bills, new regime, Rex Ryan coming in. Maybe they want to start over. Don't expect Jimmy Garoppolo to go there, but look for maybe like A.J. McCarron in a trade, or if they draft a quarterback outright. Texans have a very interesting situation. They have a Brock under contract and for like 5 more years and probably do about another $100 million. And he's probably going to be a backup. So depending if they keep him or ship him out as well too. Or maybe go with Tom Savage, depending how he looks in the offseason. So keep an eye. That's your upcoming quarterbacks for the upcoming draft class now the year is over. So definitely keep an eye out for people getting rich this season, because it's definitely going to happen this offseason. So keep an eye out for that. So, and don't forget, click that little button right there. It says subscribe. Subscribe to MK Sports Talks, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great New Year's.